Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Top Flight Pod. You know what it is. You know what we're here to do. In the new studio, debuted new studio on the podcast. We had to bring a massive guest. As you can see here on screen, we got nobody else than Dani Pereira. How are you doing, mate?
Good, man. Thank you. Thank you for the invite, the debut of the studio, and yeah, let's get to it.
Of course, let's get to it. But of course, I want to bring in Alex, my G. How are you doing, brother? Massive show that we got today.
Yeah, no, I'm great. I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, we got Dani. It's been a long time coming, having you here. But happy to have El Chamo de Austin in here. So.
And also the first player to return to the Top Flight podcast. We had Dani on years ago. If you can remember back in, 2021? We had him. It was on stream, on screen. So this is the first time that we have him here in studio. We had Diego Fagundes in the old studio. We had Diego Rubio at One Taco for the podcast show, but it's the first time that we have Dani P here in the new studio.
Yeah, that's
right.
Nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that's on Patreon. Shout out to everybody that's on Discord. We have questions that we're going to get to here at the end. There was some really good stuff that they asked on the chat, so we're going to make sure to save time for that. Some very interesting off-season questions, off-Tennessee stuff, Venezuela questions as well, but, we got to get into it because time is short. But, Dani, one of the main things that I want to ask you, bro, is how has the off-season been treating you so far?
Too long, man. Almost 3 months off. It was good to restart, long season, pretty tough season, obviously not making playoffs and all that. It's not easy to swallow, but, I had a couple weeks off, started working out, a couple weeks off again, and then just like that. So
you said that, well, I've heard you say in previous interviews that you don't really like the off-season. You don't like to train on your own.
I don't. I hate it. It's just the worst. Just not the same. So,
you've been in Austin for a while now, Dani. You were part of the first team that played for Austin FC. How has the city grown on you? I mean, the city of Austin has grown itself in the time that you've also been here. So, I want to ask you, what do you enjoy the most about living here?
Yeah, I mean, I think big part is having my family here.
Yeah.
Almost everyone that knows me knows that family is a big thing for me, and even though I might not see them as much because we are all doing our own little things, having them here, their presence, having them here is nice. And obviously the city is amazing. I love going out, or you can go eat to so many places. You can just do a bunch of stuff. I just love life here. So
okay. Now, one other thing that you didn't mention right now that you like to do is, I know that you really like to game. Warzone is probably the main thing that you're known for. I've heard some things about you. I heard that you carry squads. I heard that you get all these kind of kills, all these kind of wins, all this stuff. I hear about it.
Yeah.
But I got to ask you, is there any love for pro clubs?
Nah, no.
No?
No, for FIFA, none of that. Bro.
None of that?
Nah, straight up aim and, just shooting.
We got a team. Bro. Sometimes we get 11 players. Sometimes it's just 5 of us or 6 of us. But it gets pretty intense in those pro clubs.
I heard it's fun when you play with friends, but not for me.
It is pretty fun.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask, though, because I was listening to the Vino Tinto podcast, and the last one was with Savarino and Navarro, and they were they were asked if you could go on a party with someone, who would you choose? And to my surprise, they named you over Sotelo or something like that.
Both of them? Both of them named me?
Yeah.
They did.
I'm shocked too.
They kind of they thought about it afterwards. They were like, Dani. Oh no, wait, no, actually Sotelo. You know what, Sotelo. But they thought about you first. It was
I guess because them two are one of the couple guys that I hang out and talk to the most. Like Navarro's my roommate when I go to national team.
Okay.
So I talk to him a lot. Obviously, we always together. We gotta go eat together. We go train together. I spend a lot of time with him, and I guess I see him saying that. But then Savarino, I talk to him he's dope, man. He's a humble guy, down to earth, and he's top player too. So. I talked to him quite a bit too, but I'm surprised they both said my name. Bro.
Savarino looks serious. He looks like a serious guy.
Nah, he's dope, man. He's
dope.
Because
they were also asked if you could change your life with someone for a day or something like that, who would you choose? And they were like, no, Dani. Dani. And then I have this guy here, he's been saying no Dani, no party all of this time. I was wondering, okay, what's going on?
I see Miguel because Miguel knows me, knows my story, so I see why he would say that.
Nice. Dani, I want to ask you a little bit about the offseason. It's one of the biggest talking points right now. It's probably been like none other, right? With all the changes that are coming in, everything that's happening. behind the scenes. And I know as a player, you're probably not really focused on everything that's going on because there's people that take care of that, like from the front office. You're focused on what you got to do on the pitch. But I do want to ask you, like, what's been different about this offseason compared to previous ones with Austin? Because you've seen every offseason in this club history. So is there anything different about this current one?
Yeah, I mean, I think just like everyone, I'm excited, just new everything. Besides, like new coach and all that, new general manager. It happens in every team, so it's nothing to be sad about or mad or annoyed or whatever. It's gonna happen again. Like Roto might leave at some point. Like Nico might leave at some point.
Of course,
players are gonna come and go, so it's just part of the business and I'm excited about this season. New ideas, new players, new everything. So I think it'll be a very good year for us.
new studio,
New studio.
new everything.
He's
bro.
excited. You can tell he's
I'm
excited.
I'm excited. Alex.
Danny, but so yeah, you said also one of the new things is the new coach, right? Talking a little bit more into the soccer side of things, what difference can you highlight between having Nico with your previous coaches in your career?
Yeah, I mean, Josh was my only coach club-wise. Obviously, I had Bocha national team, but national team I don't really compare it just because you have such a short amount of time with the team. You can't really get into tactics and except for Copa America, like we had a lot of time together. But I mean, I always had Josh. He saw me grow up and he drafted me, and everyone knows his story.
Yeah.
He was like big part of my career, and I always have love for him, and we had a good relationship. But I don't know. Every coach is different. I like Nico. I like Josh too. Like I think I understood what he wanted and what his style of play was. So I think that's why I kind of thrive a lot on his system. But Nico is just it gives us more freedom, honestly. Like he's just like at trainings, he's just like get the huddle together, give us the ideas, and then when we play, we just play. Like it's just whenever it's done, he comes to it. If he sees something, he'll come to you like, hey, do this, do that. It's more. I think it's more freedom and I don't know. Some players like freedom, some players don't like freedom. So everyone's different. But I'm enjoying it. So.
You're reminding me, I remember you once did an interview with Fernando Petrocelli on Ruta Vino Tinto, and he asked you a question about Bocha, like what's the style of Bocha?
Yeah.
And you said something similar. You said that Josh was really like down to tactics, very precise. With Bocha was more of a freedom type of thing, just like you said right now. So I'm wondering if maybe you can like use what you're learning now with Nico, with the freedom, and maybe also work for you, like for your benefit for the national team as well. You see any connection on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm benefiting more from Josh's style of play. When you come from a system that's so tactical, you already have all the tactical down, and when I think that plus freedom, that just when it gets together, it's just the way I look at it, and for me, and for how I want to play, and for how I'm gonna play, and how I like to play. It's that. Like I know I kind of have a good idea of the tactical idea that Nico has, and with the freedom, I think it'll be a lot better. So we'll see.
Danny, you mentioned Josh and how much you kind of grew as a player under him and everything you kind of learned. Obviously everybody took the news a certain way whenever he was let go. How did you take that news? You know what I'm saying? What was the first thing that came to your mind when you saw like, damn, Josh Wolf was let go?
Nothing. Like, damn, like, he's been my only coach. Obviously a lot of love for him. Really good friends with Owen, his son, and but I mean it's part of the business. Just like I said, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna multiple times. So it's just obviously wishing the best, and probably stay in touch.
Yeah, he's not the first coach that'll come and go in this club. I mean, it's only 5 years old, and we're on our second coach barely. Like you said, this is going to happen. It's part of football, 100%. But I want to ask you about Davey because he survived all the personnel cuts. Like so many new coaches came in, but he remained. He still has a very important role with this club. During the open training session, he was mic'd up and he was talking to the fans. That was pretty cool. I thought that was. I was like, all right, Davey, let's go. during the offseason, I've been backing him up. I've been telling everybody we need to keep Davey. He has to stay. He knows so much about this club. A lot of people wanted him gone. They wanted everybody clean house. Yeah. And I was like, no, Davey offers a lot. But I wanted to ask you how your relationship is with Davey. Like, what does the group think about him? Because I've heard a lot of good things, but how do you see him, Davey Arnold?
I love him, man. I love Davey. I think everyone on the team loves Davey. I think he just understands both sides, the coaching and the player side. Like example, when you're not playing, he understands that frustration that when a player's not playing, and when it comes to the coaching side too, he understands what he's trying to do. He understands what, like right now with Nico, he understands his idea. So, and he's a coach that you can just go up and talk to him and just be like, hey, I don't like this, and he'll maybe go up to Nico. I don't know if he does, but maybe he'll go up to Nico. I know with Josh, he did it. Like, I would go up to Davey if I wanted to get a message across to Josh because I didn't feel comfortable telling Josh or something like that. He's just like he knows both sides, and I think that's what makes him great. So
I've always heard people talk about when you have a coach that knows it, like the player aspect, because he played the game and then he goes into coaching, that helps out a lot. And if you look at some of the top coaches around the world, they have been a player and they're top coaches because they know how to navigate a locker room when it gets tough. And I think that's pretty cool that you mentioned it.
You said that coming from Josh's style helped you knowing the tactics, and you still have some of that with Dave because Dave was obviously there also a lot of that time. And then you have Nico, who's giving you a little bit of more freedom. Is there anything in particular, taking your past experience, having Dave and now having Nico, that you're maybe working on this offseason, like specific abilities of yours that you're working on with Nico right now?
Not something that I worked on during the off season. Maybe just staying fit again. Like that. Not like for me, it's not like something you work on and you're gonna perfect. Like, I'm gonna cross the ball here. I'm gonna practice the crosses from here to here. Like I don't see it that way. I think it depends on the coaching and the style of play that you're gonna play, and I think you develop that as you train with the team instead of by yourself. So. Maybe that, yeah.
Right now, since we're in the off season, we're not the off season. Preseason started, mate. Obviously, you're taking part in it. But the training sessions, right? Like, what are some differences from the old training sessions that you had with, Josh? Is there anything different with Nico? Like, is he more, does he have a different system? Or some things kind of the same? Like, how do you see the training sessions?
Nah, they're not the same, but they have the same ideas, possession, thermal bounces, obviously scoring. We want to be a pretty aggressive team and obviously score as many goals as we can. And I think they worked together in the past too, Nico and Josh, and so they kind of have the same ideas as well. Every time we played Nico at Dallas, we kind of knew what kind of game was going to be because Josh knew him. So it's pretty much the same. They're really good sessions so far.
Nice.
So.
Nice.
When we look at your stats, one of the main highlights is your ability to carry the ball forward, right? That you're good at dribbling with the ball or that you get out of pressure easily. But are there qualities of yours that maybe you feel like haven't been displayed too much in Austin, like during your time in Austin? Or how would you describe yourself as a midfielder?
I mean, it's just I don't like. I was a pretty offensive player in college, and I don't want to go back to college and all this. I was blah blah blah, but I was pretty offensive before I got here, and obviously I had to adapt to the league, like I said before. Like it wasn't easy for me to be the offensive player I was in college to do it in MLS. So I knew I was good with the ball, that I could like move the ball, but I couldn't score to save my life when I was a rookie. Like I could barely assist. So that's why they kind of backed me up into the six, and I developed that because I knew that I was good with the ball. Like I could get out of pressure. Like I'm good under pressure, and I think that I haven't shown what I can do offensively, and that's what people think. Like, oh, Dani can score, Dani can assist, because I've never really gotten the opportunity to not opportunity, but just a chance, to show what I can do offensively. So maybe this year, if I play higher up, I'll try to do my best and maybe score a couple goals, couple assists, and
Is that something that you've made like a personal goal of yours this season coming up? Like, you obviously talk about wanting to score more goals. And although you don't want to go back to the college conversation, a lot of people that cover this team, including Arch Bell, he said on the podcast with us, he said that he sees you being one of the most important players coming into the season for us. And he mentioned how we could see that college Danny where he's talking about the days where you would score all these goals. So is that like a personal goal of yours to try to get more numbers on the board?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And that's how you get sold to other teams. That's how you make the next step, and that's how you raise your value, scoring, assisting. Obviously, people know what I can do with the ball, but I think if I add goals and assists to my game, then it'll be good for me and for the team as well. So I know I'll play a little bit higher up this season. I talked to Nico, and Nico said it to the public too, He doesn't plan on playing me as a 6, but I don't see me never not playing the 6 again.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the games and the team. So
and also we got a lot of players this season for the midfield. The midfield is stacked. The competition is through the roof.
Which is good.
You said that pressure excites you.
Yeah.
I heard you say that, but I mean, how excited are you to play with some of these guys that we brought in? Like Ilya, you already played with him, you already trained with him, but there's guys that haven't got here like Sabovic, Dubersarski. I don't think he's really incorporated to the team yet, but the midfield is like never before.
Yeah, no, it's stacked, man. I think competition is good for a team.
100%.
It makes you like stay on your toes. Someone's behind you knocking on the door. That if you play a bad game, that guy comes in, plays the next 3 games good, and you never start again. So
that's true.
It's just how it is, and competition is gonna be good for us.
Yeah, that's definitely love that.
Yeah, no, I mean, thinking about like you said, you never know if you're gonna have to play the 6 again, right? It's obviously one of the things that you've done a lot, and you might get to do again.
Yeah.
But one of the let's say problems that you've had continuously throughout the years are the yellow cards.
Okay, well,
We gotta mention it, right? We gotta mention
We gotta talk about it. I mean, you've missed a couple of games because of yellow card accumulations.
Some unlucky.
So
yeah.
I would say some definitely not deserved, some very deserved.
Yeah,
So,
I'm aware.
but that's the thing. Like, that's the question. Like, are you is that something that you're looking to get better at this season, or like something that is in your mind right now?
Nah, I don't. Not really. Like if I get obviously it depends on what type of yellow I get. If I get a yellow for pulling someone or like yelling at the ref or dumb stuff. If I get a yellow for making a foul 90th minute, we're about to lose the game or get tied or something. Obviously I'll take that. But it's not something I'm about to work on right now. I'm not worried about the yellow. So.
Now, in your defense, I will say this, that there's been moments also where you've shown leadership skills. You've pulled Hader away from a situation where he could have got a red and you were slapping him. You were saying, bro, come back to us, right? We've also seen you diffuse fights when some of your teammates have gotten into clashes or whatnot. But that's one of the things that we wanted to ask you. Like, do you think that you've kind of you're developing these leadership skills because you're no longer that young player that arrived in 2021. Like we're going to 5 years now, right? Do you feel like maybe you have more of a voice where guys look at you and they say, hey, that's one of the journeymen of this team? I mean, even though you might not have wanted that role, you kind of stumbled upon that. You're now one of the guys who's been here for a very long time. So I wanted to ask you, like, is there more of a leadership role in you going forward?
Yeah, I think I've been trying to develop that year by year. Josh told me before. He told me every year to be a leader, be more vocal. And yeah, the way I look at it is if you want to talk shit in a game or just fight someone, just fight him with the ball. Score a goal, and that's why I never get into fights unless someone says some crazy stuff to me and. Okay. But, I try to get away from that. I try to keep everyone focused, and that's it.
I respect that. That.
You know that Verde Nation had a poll on his stories about what the lineup...
Shout out Logan, Verde Nation. Shout
out. That should be, like, what the lineup should be, the starting 11 for the very first game of the season, right? He did position by position, and you won by 94%. In the midfield. What message can you tell the fans that are excited to see you again starting in this new season?
I think I think everyone knows I always try to give my best in every game, and I run my ass off for this team in the batch, and I'm gonna keep doing that. So thank you for the ones who voted, and let's go.
94% is crazy.
Yeah, that. You were the highest percentage.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Love.
No, one of the things I wanted to ask you also, man, is your first goal at home, right? At Q2 Stadium. It came in a Leagues Cup match. I wanted to ask you what made that moment special. It was a little bit. It wasn't as you would dream of because VAR tried to take it from you, but it was rightfully, onside. I wanted to ask you, what was that moment like for you? And also, what was it like scoring against one of the biggest teams in Liga MX? Because that was a pretty big moment from the fan side of things, beating Monterrey, beating Pumas at home. It was just on a whole nother level. So how was that goal for you?
Nah, that goal was crazy, man. It was for the second goal of the game. Obviously, Monterrey is a good team. You saw how we play, very defensive, very counter-attack type of team. And that goal gave us relief. And after that goal, I think we knew we were going to win that game. We had maybe 10 minutes left. I don't know. But, very special for me, first goal at home. And I dedicated it to my brother. He was in the stands and the supporters section. So it was pretty cool.
Kind of like that photo when you were a kid and you scored a goal and you go and then you said when you put it. And he was on the fence. He's pointing down at you. Yeah,
exact same thing.
That's cool, man. That's really neat. No, yeah.
Talking about the other side of things, so from Leagues Cup to U.S. Open Cup, that Austin FC is back in a U.S. Open Cup. And, it's a tournament that people really care about because it's the tournament with the most history in the U.S. soccer. How do you feel about that tournament? I mean, it's a tournament that can be won within 5 games, right? So what are your thoughts on that? Yeah,
I think that's one of the main points, that only 5 games get you a trophy. So I don't think we didn't have it last year, right?
It was Austin FC too.
Oh, it was Austin FC too. I don't think we ever really gone for it, full on starting lineup, whoever is best fit or ready to go for the game. So I think maybe this year, without not having Leagues Cup and having Open Cup, it's only 5 games. Why not? I want to go for it. So maybe we'll see what the goal is.
What makes you, or what gets you excited about playing in that tournament? It's it has legit history. It's one of the oldest trophies on this side of the world. I mean, does that come into your mind when you're playing these games?
I mean, I don't know much about the history, so I don't. I mean, I know it's important, and obviously it's a big trophy to win, but I don't really nothing. It's just let's just go for it.
It's like the FA Cup, Copa del Rey. That's what we like to compare it to, because you get some of these storylines with. What was it? Burrito FC. There was some taco stand team that made it far last time.
Yeah.
So there's these kind of storylines that come
crazy.
out.
It's a crazy tournament. Anyone can make an appearance,
Yeah.
So.
A chip is a chip, bro. A chip is a chip. If you playing in a chip,
a chip is a chip, but Copa Tejas?
That's not.
Yeah. Chip is a chip, or Copa Tejas?
That's not a chip, though.
I'm kidding. Mate, before we get into a little bit of the Venezuelan men's national team, B, you got the clip?
Yes, sir.
Can we play the clip? Just because, playing for your national team, it just, I don't know, but it makes me think of
that through ball
struggles and sacrifices that you had to make. But we had this.
Is that number 8?
Yeah.
That ball was crazy at that age.
Damn.
Crazy! Look at this. We can spin on it into the player's pad.
No, and you were always on the shorter side of the players, right?
Yeah, I was always a midget. As simple as it is.
Number 8 for.
I play on that team. I'll show you when it happens.
Yeah, look at the moves, man.
That's a pretty good move.
Young and
Breaking
right
hips.
there.
That's breaking hips.
Oh man.
I think. It's not this. No, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Maybe it already happened. I don't know.
Look at that.
But
Number 8 for Iniesta.
yeah, favorite player.
So is that your
Ever?
team?
Barcelona?
Yeah,
Europe,
I think so.
Barca?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that guy, that big guy right
Oh,
there.
he's mad.
Macoun from my national team.
Oh, he's Macum.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go, Alex. That's you right there, mate.
Yeah.
Bro, look at that pitch. Beautiful grass.
Yeah,
My
that's
God.
one of the biggest tournaments for our age on that.
And we'll put the
in
video.
Venezuela, and we won it. Yeah. So we thought we were the shit.
We'll put the
How old were you there? Because
Dude,
that's a crazy body check, dude.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know, dude. Like maybe 9, 10.
Were there any
8,
coaches
9?
that like ever came up to you at this time and were like, "Hey, man, come to my team"?
That one, the one that's my coach right there. When I was like 12, he came up to me and he was like, "Come to what's Deportivo La Guaira now?" And that's why I play there, because he's the one. He knew me. Like he's the one that saw me grow as well and always. And
that's where you met Cáceres Jr. too, right?
At that team too.
Perfect.
Did you always play with kids your age, or were you on the youngest between?
At that age, yeah, I always with kids my age. But I think as I started growing up and when I moved to the U.S., I was always higher. So obviously with like high school, senior, varsity, all that, you play against people older. But
I also heard you say that you didn't know how important it was to be a freshman and make varsity. Big achievement. Big achievement. So at my school, the rule was that no freshman could be in varsity. But there was one guy named Speedy that made it to that level. I didn't make it to varsity until sophomore year. But other than that, sophomore, junior, senior year, we didn't make it to any kind of level or anything like that. But the rule was no freshman is on varsity. So when I heard you say that, I was like, damn, that's a massive achievement.
I had no idea. We had tryouts, and then they gave us the little slip, and everybody's like, "What you made? What you get? What you get?" I'm like, "It says varsity, bro."
What a flex, bro. That's a flex.
That's a flex.
It was me and this other guy.
Nah, that's a flex.
I don't know.
That's a flex. We could get into the Venezuela topic
but hold on, because before that, I wanted to ask you. You got Ilya Sanchez playing with you now, like right next to you, and that's a guy that you faced before several times with LAFC, a guy that has been in this league for a long time. And so, one, I want to get your thoughts on playing with a guy like Ilya Sanchez, and who was also captain of LAFC.
Yeah.
And second, what have you seen of Nico Dubersarsky, of Sabovic? Like, they're going to play alongside you in the midfield.
Yeah, I mean, Salovic is not here yet, so I don't know what he's like. Dubersarsky hasn't really trained much, Nico, but I talked to him. I texted him before he came, because we had like the same. Our agents. My agent knows his agent or something,
cool.
and he
Paredes Sport-in-Law.
Yeah, and he kind of wanted me to like introduce him and like get him a warm welcome, so he can feel like he came here alone with his girlfriend, so it's tough at 20. His girlfriend's 19, so it's different.
Big change.
Yeah, and I mean Ilya, experienced guy. He's won MLS Cup, Open Cup. It'll be today. Actually, we had a at our training. We played 11s, and I played next to him, and it was so easy. It was just so easy. He just understands the game, so it just was so easy.
Already a fan favorite at the open training session. He came to the fans and they started clapping for him, started cheering for him. They did it to you too. But Ilya, I mean, this guy, just like you said, he has so much knowledge of this league. I'm so excited to have him on this team.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy too. Like down to earth, not cocky, just humble and nice, and knows the game, and he listens. So it'll be good.
Nice.
Is having someone like that on the field next to you, like, grants you some sense of security for you? Like, let's say that you want to play more offensively and, pump those two numbers up of assists and goals. Do you feel better knowing that Ilya is right behind you if something happens?
Yeah, I mean, like if I play higher up, I know I'll have someone that'll cover for me, especially someone that's experienced as well. So I'm excited, man. Like I said, I'm excited for this season. So.
All right. Now, we want to ask some questions in Spanish that have to do with
let's switch a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to switch a little bit. You want to start the first one? All right. This one is because Ethan Finley's mentioned. My boy Ethan. All right. Escuchamos a Finley decir que te fuiste como un niño y volviste de la Copa América como un hombre. ¿Qué lecciones aprendiste de la reciente Copa y qué aprendizajes te deja el compartir con jugadores como Rondón, Rincón, Sabariño, Yangel y todos más?
Sí, no, la Copa América fue una experiencia increíble, fue mi primera. Creo que a pesar de no haber jugado, me la viví a lo mejor que pude e intenté de aportar mi granito de arena al equipo, estando afuera, viendo cosas de afuera, intentando de apoyar, de animar. Tuvimos una fase de grupo perfecta, ganamos los 3 partidos y después del partido de Canadá, un partido muy difícil. Pero Nada, esa Copa América me cambió un poco cómo ver mi futuro, cómo iba a ver mi futuro, porque no jugué. Entonces yo nunca había estado en esa posición de que partido, no jugué. Entonces creo que una parte de mí maduró un poco. Llegué a Austin y sabía lo que era no jugar. Entonces, no sé, me metí en la cabeza que nadie me va a quitar el lugar acá en Austin y creo que fue por eso que cuando llegué a la Copa América estaba en ese demon mode, como podrían decir, y no sé, me cambió mucho la mentalidad de la Copa América.
Te motivó, te motivaste.
Sí, me motivó demasiado.
Sí, porque llegaste a la Copa América y fueron partidos seguidos con goles y asistencia que no parabas, ¿no?
Sí.
Sí,
O sea,
sí, entonces fue por eso, porque la Copa me dio otro punto de vista de cómo ver mi trabajo, el fútbol, de cómo lo viven los que no juegan. Entonces yo estando en esa posición ya me cambió todo y bueno, aproveché lo mío.
Dani, y aparte de la motivación de la Copa América que tú dices que no, que, o sea, te trajo los pies a la tierra, digamos, ¿hubo algo que haya cambiado en el equipo en general para que tú hubieses podido de verdad darte a esas asistencias y esos goles partido tras partido en esa racha?
Bueno, creo que por lo menos, creo que tuve como sí, 4 o 5 partidos que tuve gol, asistencia. Por lo menos la primera asistencia fue contra Dallas, creo que fue, estaba jugando de 6, que lo metió Yassi. Después creo que fue contra Charlo y contra Charlo jugué más adelantado, jugué de 10. No jugué de 6. Después tuvimos Pumas, creo. Bueno, ese partido de Pumas fue una locura.
Qué locura.
Sí.
Ese fue el mejor partido que yo he visto.
Sí,
del
defendimos
club.
como locos y obviamente, bueno, la asistencia que tuve fue porque salí a presionar, le robé la pelota y bueno, ya sí, gracias a Dios la metió. Después en Monterrey,
Tu gol.
mi gol que estaba jugando más adelantado también, no estaba jugando tan atrasado de 6. Me metieron a Valencia y me pusieron más arriba. Entonces, después no me acuerdo si metí gol o asistencia después de eso, pero yo creo que fue porque estaba jugando más adelantado, no estaba jugando tan atrasado.
Y el movimiento de Owen, el movimiento que
la
hizo.
asistencia de Owen fue buena, fue muy buena.
Yeah, that was
Sí,
great. Eso
también.
Yeah.
Pero no, eso, creo que tuve ese espacio de gol y asistencia porque estaba jugando un poquito más arriba. Entonces, obviamente, estás más cerca del gol mucho más tiempo, tienes más oportunidades. Entonces,
Dani, ¿y tú que juegas con Austin FC semana tras semana? Juegas en Q2 Stadium. Sabes que Austin FC es reconocido en la liga por ser uno de los ambientes más fuertes que hay. Pero luego vino Venezuela a jugar a Q2. ¿Cómo sentiste tú ese partido? ¿Cómo escuchaste el Q2 rugir? Háblame de esas experiencias.
nada, una locura. Estábamos en Maturín, como si estuviésemos jugando allá en Maturín, en Venezuela. El estadio lleno de venezolanos. Vinieron, porque Texas tiene bastantes venezolanos. Vinieron de Dallas, vinieron de Houston, vinieron los de San Antonio, vinieron los que viven acá. Entonces, nada, una experiencia muy arrecha. Muy arrecha.
Sí, no, o sea, yo estando ahí, lo que te digo, uno ve a Austin y Austin, o sea, ellos hacen bulla,
Sí.
pero tener a todo el estadio cantando ha sido lo más fuerte que yo he escuchado al Q2 Stadium,
Sí.
fue una locura ese
Yo
día.
creo que también fue porque hay muchos venezolanos que se fueron de Venezuela hace mucho tiempo. Entonces tienen 10, 15, 20 años sin ver a la selección jugar. Entonces los tienes a 3 horas, te vas a volver loco. Entonces creo que eso fue lo que pasó.
Dani, tú dices que la Copa América te cambió a ti como un chip, a mí y a Brian también, porque nunca hemos conocido tantos fanáticos afuera de Q2. Siempre hacemos contenido con los fans de Austin, pero en la Copa, cuando los partidos llegaron a Q2, platicamos con fans de Costa Rica, a Venezuela, US Men's, bastantes. Fuimos a Dallas, a Houston, platicamos con fans de Argentina, Bolivia,
Colombia,
todas partes.
Jamaica,
So,
todo.
también nos hizo como un cambio de chip, o sea, de ver que obviamente no nada más es Austin FC, también hay mucho más allá.
Vimos muchas diferentes culturas, bro.
Sí.
Y luego
Ajá.
el partido de Venezuela aquí, bro.
Sí.
Yo
Y-
llevo como 4 o 5 años viendo los partidos, ser fanáticos. Te estoy diciendo ahorita, bro.
Ese día, bro.
Ese partido fue era como dices, una locura,
Sí,
bro.
sí.
Era una locura. I
Increíble.
mean, tremendo, tremendo.
It was crazy. It was crazy. No, una cosa que también quiero saber, Dani, es si nos puedes platicar un poco de cómo fue jugar en la altura en Bolivia? Yo sé que el resultado no fue lo que quería nadie, ¿verdad? Una gente sí, the team that won, ¿verdad? Pero cuéntanos cómo es jugar a esa altura, porque Venezuela no es el único equipo que ha perdido ahí. Varios equipos grandes han caído en La Paz.
En el alto.
El alto.
Que es más alto.
Es más alto que La Paz, sí.
¿Cómo fue eso?
No, una pesadilla. No, inhumano. No puedes respirar. Así como la gente dice, no puedes respirar. Apenas llegamos, apenas aterrizamos en el avión, nos dieron como los potecitos de oxígeno para que empezáramos así inhumanos. Era muy, no jugamos como nosotros jugamos normalmente, que es un equipo agresivo, un equipo que pega, porque hacías un recorrido y ya estabas muerto, no podías. Así como te lo digo, hacías recorrida de acá para allá, un sprint, ya no podía volver porque estabas muerto. Wow. No tenía sentido y afectó a todo el mundo, nos afectó a todos. El brujo que nunca se muere.
¿Jugabas más cuidadoso de la energía? ¿Jugabas más cuidadoso?
Intentabas, pero no había manera
no podías.
De aguantarte el oxígeno. Era increíble.
Pero Dani, Austin tiene un cuarto que tratan de simular eso, ¿verdad? Como
la cámara hiperbárica.
Pero como solamente como a 3.500. Ajá, el altitude room. Pero solamente va como a 3.500 pies, algo así. No es nada, ¿verdad? Para los partidos contra Salt Lake y eso es así. ¿Usaste ese...?
No, es que no...
Se prepararon en Argentina, ¿no?
Sí, nos preparamos en Argentina. Yo empecé a entrenar un poquito ahí, pero lo mínimo, 15 minutos, una corridita y ya. Pero no es lo mismo jugar, hacer altitud ahí que jugar allá arriba en 14.000 pies.
Y aunque el partido se perdió 4-0, ese fue tu debut oficial. Era un partido de
eliminatorias.
Eliminatorias, sí. ¿Verdad? ¿Cómo pudiste ver hacia más allá? Porque creo que vi algo donde Bocha habló contigo y te dijo que no sacaras conclusiones de ese juego. Así que, ¿cómo pudiste ver más allá? Que, oye, se perdió 4-0, pero pues eso sigue.
Nada, las eliminatorias pasan rápido y especialmente un partido así como el de Bolivia, lo tienes que poner atrás y pasar en página nueva y no podíamos sacar conclusiones de si jugamos bien, jugamos mal, porque todo afecta demasiado. La altura ya no provoca ya jugar ya más nunca, porque en serio es muy diferente. Le hacías un cambio de frente y la pelota no subía, sino que iba derecho. El tiro libre que yo le pegué, que me dijeron que le pegara, le pegué porque sabía que la pelota iba a ir de una, se iba a mover, pero que iba a ir de una metra. Entonces, y así nos metieron el gol ellos también.
Sí, fue un golazo, pero así, de que tú no entiendes cómo pasa, pero solo pasa ya.
Exacto, porque la pelota vuela ya, es increíble jugar ya. Pero no, los partidos eliminatorios pasan rápido y nada, tienes que pasar cuenta nueva.
Las eliminatorias pasan rápido. Venezuela está en el 8º puesto peleando por el repechaje. Yo sé que todos tienen, obviamente, el sueño de llegar al Mundial, ¿no? Pero más allá de todos quererlo, de todos estar conscientes, ¿tú qué crees que necesita la selección para poder alcanzar eso?
Nada, yo creo que tenemos la mentalidad, tenemos el equipo, tenemos el cuerpo técnico. Hemos tenido mucha mala suerte, mucha mala suerte. Y son momentos de partidos que, por lo menos contra Paraguay, estamos ganando 1-0. Y el primer tiempo perfecto, lo estamos jugando muy bien, lo teníamos manejado. Y después del segundo tiempo nos ahuevoneamos 5 minutos, 2 goles. Sí. Entonces son esos momentos pequeños y detalles también que le pasa a cualquier equipo. Que te puede, y eso es lo que... Mucha mala suerte. Por el partido de Argentina, en la piscina jugamos. Muy difícil jugar ese partido. Entonces, hemos tenido bastante mala suerte con algunos resultados, y también, por lo menos, Bolivia sacó demasiados puntos allá. Sí. Entonces, pero bueno.
Y Dani, digamos, el Bocha te dijo, bueno, sí, no se puede sacar conclusiones de ese partido porque, pues, pero no has tenido otras oportunidades. Pero entonces yo te quiero preguntar ¿cómo ve el Bocha, la MLS? ¿Cómo ve que estés aquí? Sabemos que, por ejemplo, tu compañero de selección, Telasco Segovia, vino a Miami, o sea, se vino para la MLS. Entonces, competencia sana, por supuesto, pero entonces, como que, ¿qué es lo que te dice el Bocha con respecto a las oportunidades que tienes con la selección?
No, la verdad no hablamos mucho yo no sé lo que pensará él de la MLS primero. Obviamente todo el mundo sabe que jugar en Europa es mejor que la MLS, pero a la final, bueno, cada quien tiene sus opiniones y bueno. Y lo de... ¿Qué fue lo que otro que me preguntó? Lo de...
O sea, que tienes compañeros de selección como Telasco que se vinieron a Miami. Tú estás acá, entonces simplemente como que cómo ves tú tus oportunidades, porque no han vuelto a tener otra oportunidad de jugar en la selección.
Sí, no, bueno, ser paciente. Lo que pasa es que yo llegué a la selección con un grupo ya armado. Entonces, un grupo ya que comenzó las eliminatorias, es muy difícil entrar a ese grupo y ganarte tu lugar. Obviamente el partido que jugué fue una oportunidad terrible, pero por la altura, bla, 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 lo que pasó. Y nada, lo que me dicen ellos es que sea paciente, que mi momento va a llegar, que mi próxima oportunidad va a llegar, que siga en el camino que estoy. Y nada, yo obviamente emocionado por esa oportunidad cuando llegue, porque sé que la voy a dar todo.
Sigue en comunicación constante todo el tiempo con el Bocha, con...
Sí, o sea, no hablamos todos los días, pues, pero cuando viene una eliminatoria, por lo menos la pasada que no estuve, me dijo, él me llamó antes de que saliera la lista de que Dani, no te va a convocar por esta razón. Quiero que estés tranquilo, que lo sepas de mí primero y nada, muy sana la relación.
Está bien.
Jugaste en el friendly contra USA, was en Fort Lauderdale, ¿verdad? No se ganó, ¿verdad? Pero tú eras el único jugador que estaba en el grupo de la Copa. So, esa confianza que se ve que los coaches tienen en ST y lo que yo pienso, lo que yo veo es que tú eres un jugador para el futuro. Porque como dices tú, el grupo ya estaba y llegas tú y es un nivel muy alto. Es lo que como yo lo veo.
Sí.
¿Algo más, Alex?
No, yo creo que, bueno, ya eliminatorios lo sabemos. Pero sí te quería preguntar una cosa que me acordé de la Copa América, es que tengo entendido que te hiciste un tatuaje para esa Copa con tu familia. Como, ¿de qué era el tatuaje? ¿Qué fue lo que se hicieron?
Los hicimos los signos zodiacos de cada uno.
Okay.
Y todos nos los tatuamos.
¿Y tu papá también?
Mi mamá, mi papá, mi hermano y yo.
Ah.
Entonces eso fue como el Lucky Charm de la Copa América.
Ok, está bien.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Y el último tatuaje que te hiciste, vi que te hiciste algo en el cuello.
Sí, los ojos de mi mamá. Me dice que no sé cómo le vamos a
Le podemos poner una foto ahí.
¿Los ojos de tu mamá?
Mi mamá.
¿En serio?
De ahorita después
¿Cómo lo vio ella que dijo, no te pongas eso, Daniel?
No, cuando le dije, se medio puso a llorar. Se puso como emocional. Entonces,
Esa es una buena idea, bro. Los ojos de tu mamá.
Si no había pensado en eso, es bonito. O sea,
es bonito.
¿Sería un buen tiempo para poner el clip? ¿El audio?
Lo que pasa es que, ¿sabes que haciendo la investigación para el podcast, fue exhausta la investigación, ¿no? Y me contaron, dijiste que tú no querías hablar del college y todo eso, pero es que me contaron que cuando estabas en college y estabas buscando casa donde vivir con unos amigos, hiciste algo que, o sea, tu mamá siempre te apoya, es muy linda, es muy cariñosa.
No, yo sé que estás hablando. El voice ese que me mandó.
El voice message,
¿Lo tienen?
Pero cuenta la historia.
¿Lo tienen?
Cuenta la historia.
Yeah.
Pero yo quiero primero saber la historia, a ver qué fue lo que pasó.
Mi mamá, mis papás vivían en Roanoke y yo estaba en la universidad, obviamente.
No, espérate.
Go ahead.
Y nada, me estaba mudando del dorm para la casa porque iba a vivir con dos amigos del equipo. Y mi mamá fue la que lo estaba haciendo todo. Entonces, yo no sé por qué no fui. Yo tenía que ir a buscar las llaves de la casa y no fui, no me acuerdo por qué. Y nada, mi mamá se endemonió y chao.
O sea, loca ella que se molestó.
No, loca, no sé. No, echa para atrás.
Alejandro, necesito hablar contigo urgente. La casa la perdimos por no llevar las aplicaciones. Por favor, llámame. Y no esperes de mí que tenga paciencia, que sea comprensiva, que lo diga bonito. No esperes de mí eso porque estoy excesivamente arrecha. Excesivamente. Porque te dije 1.500 millones de veces que llevaras la mierda esa. Ok, todo lo que hice se fue por la basura. Porque tú no fuiste capaz de resolver ese peo. Y más nunca en tu vida, como se te ocurra, una sola vez en tu vida, no me importa cuánto dinero tengas ni cuán grande seas, no me interesa, como una vez en tu vida tú te atrevas a ponerte arrecho porque yo te hago un recordatorio, te voy a soltar un cachetón.
Bro, si a mí me mandan este audio, yo no regreso a casa de miedo.
And you can tell I responded like 30 minutes
Ya
before.
listo.
Bro, un miedo que tendría. Oh my God, no.
No, es
I
que
couldn't do it.
como te querían acomodar la sonrisa,
Ah,
¿viste?
todo, man, acomoda todo. Pero no perdimos la casa, al final se resolvió todo.
Pero qué clip, qué
Sí, no,
clip.
no.
chistoso.
Pero mantienes la promesa, o sea, si ya te recuerda algo, no te molesta.
Ya maduré, ya no pasa eso.
Bueno, Dani, pregunta otra vez en inglés. You recently signed for one more year with an option for a second. Sporting director Rodo Borrell came out and he said that he wanted you to stay. In press conference, he said that if anything weird happened, you were going to be here. I wanted to ask you, like, you know, like I mentioned earlier, you seem like a guy that focuses a lot more on what he has to do on the pitch instead of what's being said in these pressers or whatnot. But knowing that the interest is there from a guy like Rodo Borrell, for a player like you, he sees you part of this roster, part of this picture. You know, does that make you feel good? How does that?
Yeah,
how does
of
that
course,
feel?
you always want to be where you're wanted. I don't think nobody would want to be somewhere where they're not wanted, you know. And yeah, like I said, I'm happy here in Austin. Obviously, I was excited about the idea of having new coaching staff, new ideas, and new players. So that's what kind of excited me to sign again. So.
Did it influence you in a way, like saying, like, okay, this guy wants me here, like, hell yeah, I'm like you said, kind of, you want to be where you're wanted at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit. It was mostly the changes that were being made that excited me more than him saying, like, I knew that before he said that, so him saying that didn't have any effect. Like, I knew that, so it's just like I knew where I wanted to be as well.
I see.
Danny, how are you? Like, yeah, you signed another contract for 2025, option for 2026, but that's it. Like, you signed for one more year with an option for a second. Why not sign for more? Or, you know, what are your plans for the future?
I mean, right now I just want to focus on this year and hopefully eyeballed out this year, and I either sign again with Austin or they pick up my option or something bigger comes. And it's just like I see it as a win-win, not signing a long-ass contract.
I feel that.
I mean, I'm sure you got ambitions, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
of course.
You know.
Like as anyone, you know, I would love to be here the rest of my life if everything it's like done like right. You know, if everything's a good benefit for me, and you know, but obviously I think I wanna live some other experiences in other leagues. So I don't know. I'm focused on Austin right now. So happy with signing again.
Is there a league where you dream of playing? Because I'm sure, you know, there's big clubs out there, and you would look at any offer for sure, right? But is there somewhere as a kid maybe, or you know, when you were in college, so you're saying like, man, that would be a great league to play in one day?
Yeah, I mean, I love to play in La Liga in Italy. Think those are in South America too. I would love to go to Brazil or you know Argentina. Those are good leagues, and they get a lot of like players. Like they showcase themselves a lot from those leagues. So
Neymar's going back to Brazil.
yeah, it's crazy.
Memphis Depay,
yeah.
he's also down there too.
So, but you never know what will happen here in MLS as well. So
Yeah.
like, we have the MLS is amazing too. You know,
It's growing.
It's growing a lot. So just wherever I'm happy, wherever benefits me, that's where I'll be. So.
Okay.
You know, the last year there was information coming from England actually that there was a team very interested in you. What can you tell us about that?
Nah, it's true. Everything I saw some of the stuff on Twitter, and it's true. It like Coventry was interested, and but at the time, like it was 2023, I didn't have my green card and all that. So I think me leaving at that time, it would have been harder to come back to the U.S. if I left. So
Okay.
I thought I was gonna leave, but then I thought about like my family as well, and you know my green card. It was in the process. And I didn't want to lose that whole process. So, God's plans was like I'm here, I'm happy here, so it's okay.
The green card, Danny, that was massive news. I know Alex and we were keeping up with every little bit of news that was coming out about that. Did you feel like weight was lifted off of you when that finally went through?
Yeah, I mean, I can go anywhere now. I can go to Canada, play these games over there. It just helps me a lot in a lot of ways, not just soccer, just lifestyle as well.
Okay.
So.
All right. Now, Alex, before we get into the last couple of minutes of the pod, we got some Discord questions. Anything else you want to add on me?
No, I think we can get into the Discord questions.
Okay,
I think
sure.
there are going to be some interesting ones.
Now, we got some MLS sickos on the Discord. Shout out to the Patreon members, of course. They had some questions for you. There was some out-of-pocket ones, but we got the best ones. So this is from 619 by 512. Shout out to my G Jake. He wants to know, what are your thoughts on your current rating in FC25?
What is it? I don't
It's pretty low. It's in the 60s. I have manager mode with Austin FC. It's like 64, if I'm not mistaken.
64? Damn.
But let's double check.
I know my brother was working on that. 66.
66, yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it, man.
What do you think?
I
66?
bet you my. I think they violated me on my passing, man.
There you go. We got 80 pace.
80 pace, okay.
Pacey
That's
player.
good. That's good.
But
72 dribble.
Am I that fast though?
53 shot. That's kind of low, man. That
Yeah,
goal
good.
I
versus
should be shooting, so it's okay.
that goal versus Charlotte. That goal versus Charlotte was crazy.
3 years ago.
It's pretty good. 80 pace, 70 dribble, 64 physical. Okay.
Okay, all right. So 66, you'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I don't play the games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your life is all soccer,
I know,
so
yeah. I love. Obviously, it's crazy being on FIFA and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm not picky. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it goes up next year.
Bangalov, he wants to know, what is your go-to setup in Call of Duty? What Call of Duty do you usually play?
Right now, I'm running that Jacko PW whatever, and the XM4. The meta. But this game is trash right now. Bunch of hackers and shit.
You want to read Tucker's? Happy birthday, Tucker, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so with the quality of our new front 3 or 4 and the signings of Savovic and Ilya, would you rather be playing in a double pivot as an 8 or deep line playmaker, or use Ilya or Savovic's defensive solidity to play as an 8 that moves into a 10?
Long-ass question, Tucker.
In possession, getting towards much more.
Write a novel, bro.
God, I mean, it's just I don't like playing as a pure 10 because that's just not me. But it's just I know anyone's gonna be able to play, and it's gonna be competition. So I don't know, I don't know how to answer. I think maybe as a 1-6 and 2 10s, and me being kind of the 8, and have someone else be the 10. But at the same time, I don't think Savovic plays the 10. Mm-hmm. Ilya doesn't play the 10. Nico doesn't play the 10.
Yeah.
Owen could play the 10. I don't know Usuni. I don't know if he plays the 10.
He could.
But it'll be interesting what we do with our formation. So I don't.
He had a second part to that where he says, what are the best attributes of your game that you think will combine with Vasquez, Usuni, and Bukhari, the three-headed dragon?
Yeah, I mean, Brandon's a beast, man. I think he has everything. He's good in the air.
Is he
he's
really
strong.
Superman?
He looks like it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Brandon's amazing. Buka is just so good 1v1. So I'll kind of just leave him alone, do his thing. And Usuni, I don't know him, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So.
I can't wait for him to get to Austin. We'll see.
Yeah.
Nico said that's visa, waiting on that, but soon. We'll let that work itself out.
Yeah.
Ari Silva, Danny, he says, we know your family lives here, but if hypothetically you were to move to another team, would you still keep your family and home here, or would you completely relocate?
Nah, yeah, they'll Austin's home for me now. If I was to go to another team, they'll stay here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I've seen a lot of players kind of stay here. I know, I don't know for sure, but I think Ethan Finley might be still here. I know Will Bruin, I think, is still sticking around.
Diego
Hector
comes back a
Jimenez.
lot.
Diego comes back. He has his house here. Valencia kept his house.
It's a fire city, man. Austin's
Yeah,
nice, bro. Austin's
Yeah,
is
my
nice.
parents love it here too,
Yeah.
so I don't think moving sucks too. So
Yeah,
I don't
moving
think
does
they'll
suck,
wanna-
But do you see it? Yeah, like, are you the type of player that like, do you see yourself retiring here, coming back to Austin and retiring at Austin FC?
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Talking
I would,
years.
I would love to. Yeah, it would be hopefully in like
A decade.
12 years or something. You know.
Yeah.
But I would love to retire here if we'll see. I don't know.
It's
so
tough to
bad.
talk about it right now. He's
bro.
so
That's
young.
a
He's
tough
young.
question, bro.
Tough.
That's a tough
So
question, bro.
we'll see.
Let's see. Bengalov, he has another. He says, we have noticed a surge in midfield players on the team. How is it being on the team with so much competition at CM now? You kind of talked about it earlier.
Yeah, no, it's good. Competition's gonna be good. I think that's what we had when on that 2022 year when we went to the final. We just had competition and people behind your back keeping you on your toes. So it'll be good for us.
I think you might like this one. Taco Moore Salsa Bar. He says, Danny, I'm sorry. A few seasons ago, I had a mid take on Twitter about you and your game, and you liked it. I didn't recognize your game, and I take it back. My question is, do you use the receipts to motivate you or just laugh at dumb takes? I can't wait to cheer you on for a breakout year. You've earned it.
I appreciate the apologies. But nah, my likes on tweets and stuff, I don't use it I don't take a screenshot or as a receipt or anything. I just like it to kind of laugh at it if it's something that I don't like or I find kind of silly. So if I like your tweet, just know I'm just laughing at it. I don't take it too hard.
At least they said, sorry, like, hey, my fault. I didn't recognize your
It's okay.
your game. There
It
you go.
happens.
You want to read this one, mate?
Yeah, so Elise says, what's your favorite aspect of the culture around Austin FC? What would you wish to see change or see more of?
On the team or like in general?
I think she
fan
means
culture?
more like the fans in the stadium.
Oh.
Is that what?
Yeah, no, we asked Diego Fagundes the same question, and he mentioned adding a supporter section kind of to the north end, like to not just have it in the south, because you said that nobody really liked defending the north end because the music is and the noise is on the other side. So that could be, something to mention.
I think that's hard to do. Just
It is pretty tough.
that'll be hard to do, but I mean, I love everything about our culture and everyone around it and our owners. You can see this offseason they
Facts.
ran them wallets down.
Yeah.
But I love everything about it. From fans to ownership to people around supporting Austin FC. So, yeah.
That's all the questions that we had, mate. Alex, anything else you want to add, brother?
No, man. I just want to thank you for coming. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
That's chapter 2, because it's the second time you've been
Yes,
on the
sir.
podcast.
Chapter 3 in a couple of years.
Danny, thank you for your time, man.
of course,
You're a
man.
very busy guy, getting those dubs, Warzone, and on the pitch as well. But thank you for
Nah,
coming by for a
Yeah,
chat.
thanks,
sir.
Danny. And I just want to like message the fan, bro. Like, it's a young club, 4 years in. We've had some debuts that have come from the youth, from the ranks. We've never really had like I would say homegrown player. But to me, as a fan, bro, I think you are the closest thing that we have to see a player come through. I know you're not from here. I know your family's not from here. But as a fan, seeing you from a first-round draft pick to where you are now to where you potentially could be, I think you're the closest thing that we have to like a homegrown player. So
One of us.
I'm glad
Yes, sir.
that you balled out for us
Yeah.
and that you continue to do that for
Yes,
us.
sir.
So,
We'll
yeah.
do. Appreciate you.
Shout out to everybody for the Discord questions. Thank you to all the Patreon members for the support. New studio, had to debut it with the legend, Dani Pereira himself. Shout out to everybody that made this podcast possible. Shout out to Aaron, Logan, and shout out to Cameron Kuhnbeck, everybody at the club that helps us make these things possible. But before we get out of here, just round of applause for Dani Pereira as we get out of here.